things that we may be impressed with don't always impress God. And that's why we have to be careful about bragging about how good we are or how good we appear to be, because God may not see it the same way. And his evaluation may be totally different from ours. Such is the case with the church, this last church in Laodicea. This last church on that postal route, the church at Laodicea is about 100 miles away from the first church, Ephesus. This church, I want to suggest that out of all 7 churches, this was the worst of them all. These churches all had problems and challenges. Ephesus lost its first love. Pergamos let the devil come in. Thyatira tolerated Jezebel. And Sardis just lost their own reputation. But out of all 7 churches, this was the worst of them all. This church, Laodicea, was so bad that it didn't receive any commendation. Jesus didn't find anything good about the church at Laodicea. And y'all, I find that kind of hard to believe, because Jesus can find a little bit of good in everybody. Amen. So I mean, Jesus, he can find good, even if it's just a little bit. But Jesus couldn't find anything good in this church. And I know that may not sound like much, but y'all, I mean, Jesus always finds at least some good, even if it's just a little bit. You really don't have to take my word. He found some good in a con artist by the name of Jacob. He found some good in a murderer by the name of Moses. He even found some good in a prostitute named Rahab. He found good in an adulterer named David and a player named Solomon. He found even in Peter with his bad mouth. God can find good in anybody, but when he looked at the church at Laodicea, he didn't have anything good to say about this church. As a matter of fact, Jesus says it like this: this church makes me sick. Oh, Lord have mercy. It got to the point where Jesus wanted to spit this church out of his mouth. And I don't know about you, but when I read that, I wanted to know, what was it about this church that made him sick? What was it about the church that made him want to spit this church out of his mouth? And John lets us know that the reason this church made him sick is because it was a lukewarm church. It was a lukewarm church, and I want you to know that a lukewarm church is disgusting in the taste buds of God. A lukewarm church is nauseating and abhorrent in the taste buds or the soul of our Savior. Now, let me introduce, for those who have understood, read this text, heard it before, there's a lot of misinterpretations about the lukewarm church. Y'all, some people think that when it said lukewarm, he's talking about one foot in the world and the other foot into the church, or straddling the fence. He says, I wish you were either one or the other. But that's not a lukewarm church. Now, a lukewarm in this text means that it was a good for nothing church. This church, it means that they had no spiritual impact on anybody's life. It was a church that wasn't affecting anything or anybody. And a church that Laodicea made Jesus sick because they were having church Sunday after Sunday, but they had no impact on the people. This church didn't affect anything or anybody. They took up space in the community, but they had no effect on the community. This church didn't do anything but have service. So Jesus writes them this letter, and Jesus starts off the letter by saying, I know your deeds, that you're neither cold nor hot. Then he says, I wish you were either one. But he's not talking about their condition. He's talking about their impact. See, in order to understand this, you really have to understand, go back and understand water. Water, church, had impact on people's lives. And in those days, water was used for many different reasons. Hot water was used for medicinal medicinal purposes. Hot water was used to flush the toxins out of your body, including the fat deposits, which improves your blood circulation. Y'all looking at me funny. I may not be a medical doctor, but I am a Reverend Doctor. Lord have mercy. And he says water is used also to relax the muscles so you can create a better blood flow through your body. Hot water was used to release nasal congestion, but it also helped relieve constipation. So in that day, hot water was important because hot water was used for medicinal purposes. But not only was hot water good, cold water was also good because cold water was used to refresh or to revive. In the days of the hot sun, when the sun is laying upon your shoulders and it's hot and here it is dehydrated, a drink of cold water will refresh you. Cold water refreshes, but not only does cold water refresh you, cold water was also used to maintain a lower core temperature in your body. Cold water was used to revive and refresh, but lukewarm water wasn't good for either one. Matter of fact, in those days, if you had lukewarm water, it didn't do anything but make you sick. So Jesus says, when I look at the church of Laodicea, it reminds me of some lukewarm water. I look at this church and it reminds me that this church is good for nothing. See, y'all, Laodicea was rich. They had a rich city. The city was known for its wealth. They didn't have, but the problem is Laodicea didn't have its own water supply. They had money, but they did not have their own water supply. In order for them to get water, they had to get water from nearby cities. So they got their hot water from a city called Hierapolis. They got their cold water from the city called Colossae. But the problem is both cities were 6 miles away. And so they had to build tunnels to Hierapolis and another tunnel to Colossae. And here it is, the water was hot in Hierapolis, but by the time it got to Laodicea, it was lukewarm. The water was cold in Colossae, but by the time it got to Laodicea, it was lukewarm. So by the time the water got to them, it was good for nothing. It was so disgusting to the people that they said, I want to spit it out of my mouth. And Jesus says that this church reminds me of its lukewarm water because it's leaving a disgusting taste in my mouth. Y'all, in other words, this church made God sick. Now, what's interesting is if you go around the church at Laodicea and you ask the people about their church, they would tell you that we got it going on. If you ask the people about the church, they would tell you that this is the best church because one thing for sure, this church has a whole lot of money. The people in Laodicea was known for having a lot of money. And y'all, they had so much money when the church was destroyed or the city was destroyed by an earthquake. They told the Roman government that we don't need your money. We have enough money to build our own city. But not only, matter of fact, they had 99 problems, but money surely wasn't one. Lord have mercy. Y'all, they had money, but not only did they have money, this church also had material. Y'all, this was the best dressed and best looking church because they had some special material called wool black. Y'all, in that area, this was the only area that had some black sheep, and they would take these sheep and skin these sheep, and the black wool from the sheep, they would make some special clothing. So people came from all over to Laodicea to get this special black material so they can come to church in their Sunday best. But not only did they have money and material, they were also high up in the medical profession. Laodicea had the best doctors, and those doctors doctors in Laodicea, they created this eye solution that if you were halfway blind, you will put this solution on your eyes and you'll begin to see. Y'all, they had doctors that was better than Stony Brook and Winthrop. They had doctors better than the best doctors at Johns Hopkins. So Laodicea says, we've got it going on because we have money, we have material, and we excel in the medical profession. So when I looked at it, y'all, they said we really got it going on. But when Jesus did an MRI on this church, Jesus said it don't matter how much money you have. It really don't matter how good your material look and how far you have professed in the medical field. Jesus said you're still a mess because you don't have the Messiah. Y'all still looking at me funny. In other words, they had a whole lot of resources, but the reason they did not have any impact is because they did not have a relationship with Christ. And it don't matter how many resources you have. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus, you really don't have anything at all. Do I have a witness in this place? And the reason, y'all, this was a lukewarm church because they would meet Sunday after Sunday. And they would go to every convention. They would have service after service. But here it is. Nobody was being changed. Nobody was being delivered. Nobody was being set free. The people came in a mess. And after the benediction, they still left a mess. And the question I want to raise is, what's the purpose of having church if you ain't going to be changed after you leave church? But what's the purpose of coming if it's not going to help you in your life? Y'all, they came for 2 hours. They got their shout and praise on, but after church was over, there was no difference in their lifestyle. So Jesus says the problem I have with the church at Laodicea is that you're not making a difference in nobody's life. You're not helping anybody grow spiritually. And to make matters worse, nobody even cared. They didn't care about people growing spiritually as long as the building looked good, as long as the services were good, as long as the choir sounded good. They didn't care whether or not anybody was growing spiritually. And y'all, all they wanted was to brag about their materials. And they got to the place where they said, we no longer care about our spiritual growth. They no longer cared about their relationship because they had resources. In other words, they got to the place, where they no longer needed Jesus, or they felt like they no longer needed Jesus. But I came to tell somebody, it don't matter what you have, you will always need. I wish I had a witness in this place. No, it don't matter what you have in your bank account. It don't matter what you drive. It don't matter where you live. You will always need. I wish I had a witness in this place. Come on, I need somebody who's been blessed. I'm talking about being blessed. But you know, I still need the Lord because my stuff can't give me a peace of mind. When I drive, can't get me where I wish I had a witness in here. You still need Jesus. And y'all, they would go through a whole worship service and they would praise everybody else. But nobody talked about Jesus as if Jesus was no longer important. And when you have a church where Jesus is just a member, that's a lukewarm church. But when you have a church where Jesus is not the head, that's a lukewarm church. And a lukewarm church is a church that make God sick. But y'all, that's not it. When you have a church full of members and members not getting along, that's a church that make God sick. Y'all ain't gonna help me preach. But when you have disunity, when you have competition, that's a church that make God sick. See, God wants the type of church where people love each other. I ain't saying we we always got to like each other, but we got to love each other. God wants the type of church where I can come in down and something is sang or praying in my spirit, where I leave out feeling better. I came in one way, but I leave believing that God will make a way somehow. Do I have a witness in this place? I don't want to come and just see nobody shout. I want to see after you shout, you walk in your deliverance. I want to see after you finish praising God, that you walk the devil head. Let the devil know that victory shall be mine. See, they were having church, but nobody was growing. Nobody was growing spiritually. And that's the type of church that make God sick. And the reason I'm preaching this sermon today is because I don't want to be the type of church that make God sick. No, I don't want to be the type of church that is good for nothing. I want to be the type of church that make the devil mad. That every time we walk through these doors, the devil sees victory. Now, I want to be the type of church that even when we're going through, even when our hearts are hurting, even when pain is in our body, we can still walk up in church and say, this is the day that the Lord has made. Y'all help me preach. Do I have a witness in here? I want to be a part of a church that even in death, we can say like Job, the Lord gave. The Lord, I wish I had a witness here. The Lord has taken away. But blessed be the name of the Lord. That's a powerful church. Matter of fact, when you go through, I'm going to pray with you. But when I go through, you pray with me. But see, a dead church, a good for nothing church, don't have any power, don't have any strength. But a good for nothing church, where everybody is every man for themselves. But when you have a unified church, I'll walk with you, I'll support you, I'll be what you want to be. That's the type of church that God is pleased with. So the Laodicea church, they had money, they had materials, they even had a medical practice, but they did not have a relationship with the Messiah. And God said, I'm tired of this type of church. And he got so tired of this church that he said, I'm about to spit this church out of my mouth. No, he said, I'm about to spit this church out of my mouth. And I know why y'all looking like that, because you think I'm just talking about the church at Laodicea. But if somebody can be honest, we've had some lukewarm moments in our lives. We ain't always been on fire for the Lord. Come on, help me preach. We ain't always been committed. We ain't always been faithful. But aren't you glad that when you took your hands off of God, God didn't take his hands off of you? Do I have a witness in this place? When you stop giving God your all, God didn't stop giving you his all. And I'm so glad that the Bible says that even though they turned on him, even though they did not recognize him, Jesus didn't give up on them. But the Bible says in verse 20 that I stand at the door and knock. Can y'all believe what I just said? Jesus, the Son of the living God, Mary's baby, the one who came through 42 generations, the one who walked on water, the one who spoke to the storm, and then the storm went in time out, the one who called the demons out, and the demons start trembling, the one that took 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, the one who said in the beginning, he said, let there be, and beasts not let. He's knocking on our door, and watch this, even though the door is closed in his face, he's still knocking. Good God Almighty, that's a reason to give God praise, that even when you shut the door, he's still knocking, in order to give you a door. If you want victory, open the door. If you want peace, open the door. If you want joy, open the door. Good day, y'all. I'm losing it right now. But I stopped by to tell somebody that if you open the door, he'll come in and take you with him. And the reason I can praise God because on last night, Mother Burgess opened the door and the Lord came in and now he come in. Who came on in and he grabbed her by the hand and said, well, walk with me. Y'all help me preach. He opened the door, took her to the phone room, and y'all, but y'all wait to the funeral. Can you do me a favor? Can you praise him in advance? Open the door. Open the door. Come on, tell somebody, open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. They were so caught up with their stuff, they didn't even hear him knocking. They were so busy showing off their materials and counting their money. They did not hear him knocking. But when you're connected to him, you can hear his knocking. He says, if you open the door, I'll come in and sit with you and you'll be with me. Because I love you enough not to leave you where you are. And I want to be that type of church that when you come in, we don't leave you where you are. But here it is. He can't come in if you don't open the door. He's not going to force his way through a locked door. If you want God to come in, you got to open the door. But watch this. If he come in, there's some stuff that got to get out.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
Open. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
The door.
That's all right. That's all right.
And when you know who at the door, you ain't got to look at the people.
Yeah, that's all right.
Because you've been with him long enough, you know his voice. You know his knock. And you're not afraid of his presence. You can celebrate his presence.
Yeah.
He says, I stand at the door now. If you open the door, he's going to come in.
Yeah, that's all right. Thank
He's
you.
going to grab you by the hand.
Yeah. Thank you, Lord.
He's going to take you to a better place. A place of peace. And for some of us, I'm not just talking about in the future, you can have peace now.
Yeah.
But you got to open the door and let him in. All these 7 churches brought us to this place. And the last thing, out of all we went through, he's still knocking. Still trying to get close to you. And all he says is, let me in. Let me in. All God wants is us. And sometimes it hurts to open the door. But it's worth it. Don't let anything stop you from opening the door. Because there's victory on the other side. There's joy on the other side.
That's all right.
Y'all, I'm sorry.
Take your time, guys. Love you.
Please, let the Lord knock. No matter what you have, no matter how blessed you are, you still need Jesus.
Yeah.
Open it. That's all he wants. Come in with an open heart, ready to hear from him, ready to talk with him, ready to sit with him. And there were some of us, when we saw that the door was closed, we'd have went home.
I know that's right.
When we knocked the first time and they didn't answer, that's their loss. We'd have left. But God is still knocking because he loved you enough not to leave you where you are.
Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you.
All you got to do is open the door to him who has an ear. Let him in. What the Spirit says to the church. Open the door and let God in.
Oh, yeah. Amen.
And
Amen.
everything
That's all right.
will be all right.
That's all right.
Come on, give God a hand clap. Let's-
Yeah.
We're standing all over the sanctuary.